And has it been a difficult winter with the weather? Like you say, it has been very wet once again, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. But I think it's important to remember that after winter follows spring. So whilst you can't rely on the weather, you can rely on the seasons. So I think you have to focus, try and stay positive, don't you? You know, it's not a nice thing. The days are long, the nights are dark, it's cold, it's miserable. Some days I'm sure the last thing that you want to do is drag yourself out in the miserable weather and it's cold and it's wet yet again. People be worrying the ground is completely saturated. You know, there's no grass. They're having to feed animals hard, which is expensive. They'll have to bed them, so bedding will be running out and things like that. They'll be worrying about, you know, hoping that spring brings better weather. That's what everybody will be hoping for at the moment. But that's the one thing that you can be sure about is the seasons, and summer isn't too far away, is it?
It's true, and I have to say, on a positive note, I have recently, only the past few months or so, discovered Bri Rad's Facebook page with his videos about his vegetables. They are so entertaining, and not only entertaining, but really educational. So, for instance, I had my nephews over for Christmas from New York. Very much city boys. They went from London to New York. So they hadn't seen, for instance, the way carrots are dug up from the ground. And there's this fabulous video that Bry's put on his page of digging up the carrots with this machine. And they were enthralled by this. And that's actually brilliant, isn't it? Because Bry has taken technology and taken sort of digital, and he's using it for really good purpose, because they are educational, they're positive, they're fun videos. It's a good thing, isn't it?
I think it really is. And I think farmers are recognising that as well more and more. They are also marketing themselves. You know, it's nice, isn't it, if you can go to the butchers and you know that you've bought meat from this farm down the road, or you've been to see Bri Rad or other vegetable growers that are on the island, and you know them, you chat to them on a Saturday, they probably remember you, what your order was last week. They might throw you in some extra bonuses or something like that. If you're a good customer, you get a few extra wonky carrots this week if you want, or what have you. And more and more that's what we see. And I think, you know, years ago my parents and plenty of other farmers used to allow schools would come onto the farm. You know, they'd bring the children out to see sheep shearing, or they'd bring them out to see lambing and things like that. But then, you know, health and safety, you know, you have to be so careful about how you do things. And I think that was probably lost for a few years. But more and more, I think farmers, especially with the likes of Facebook and social media, you can allow people into your farm safely, basically. They get to know you, they get to know what you're doing. And I think that helps, doesn't it? If you're buying local produce and supporting local produce, if you know the person and a little bit about them, you're probably more inclined to go and buy it. Like, did you know you could buy quinoa on the Isle of Man now? That's a new thing.
Actually, I've recently been introduced to quinoa, and a bit of a fan, I have to say. So I
I
didn't
like
know
it.
that.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, so that's a brilliant instance of farmers, local farmers. They recognise the way that the trends are going, and they're trying to get involved, trying to really try to produce what you want, basically.